Hey guys, welcome back to Bait and Tackle, and today I've got a pretty cool episode for you. I made 5 of these giant jigs, and I made a whole bunch of them. As you can see from the beginning of the movie, I filmed a little intro always. And what we're going to do today is pick out the jig skirt colors so that we can put some really neat different colored skirts together, just some random stuff. I picked out a whole bunch of different colors for each one to see if maybe we could come up with something good. We'll put them together and just see how they turn out, so stay tuned. Okay, so we're gonna start. We've got a whole pile of different skirt colors around here. I'm just going to go down through. We're going to start with this one. It's a chartreuse pepper, and I did a chartreuse eye on that. Looks really cool. Came out awesome. I don't know how close I can get to the camera, but there'll be pictures like I always do at the end, and I took a whole bunch of pictures already with white background so you guys can see them a lot better. But we're going to just start with that one. I don't want to make this a terribly long video, but we have a lot to get through. So there's 5 different colored jigs here. We're going to do 5 different skirt colors. So we're going to start with this 53 by fishingskirts.com. And what it is a green pumpkin in the middle. And it's got the chartreuse on the ends with some barbed wire type look. So we're going to just do one of those. And I'm also going to pick out a different sized O-ring than what I normally use on my jigs, because this is a little bit bigger of a jig. This one is just a chartreuse with pepper in it. You can see it pretty well. Sorry about that. And it is by Lure Parts Online. It's 1602. It's a Nature's Edge silicone material. Again, they just call it chartreuse, but it's really chartreuse pepper. So we're going to do one of those. And I tried to match these chartreuses the best I could. I'm not sure where this one came from. It's got a 12 in the bag. I don't know where that one came from. But basically what it is, it's a silver foil. It's a metallic foil, and it's chartreuse with silver foil. And I have seen this in gold as well. So I'm sure you could find it pretty easy. So again, we're going to do one of those. And then for the last one, this is a Barlow's, and I use a lot of stuff from Barlow's. 881 watermelon pepper chartreuse. So it's got a watermelon pepper in the middle and then chartreuse with pepper on the tips on the ends. So pretty cool color. So we're going to take all 4 of those. I'm just going to do 1 tab per. So 4 tabs, and that's what I typically do for a nice full skirt. And I've got this box of O-rings I got off of Amazon, and it's a whole bunch of different sized O-rings. And I typically use I believe it's a 4 by 2 millimeter. It's actually in between these two is what I normally use. But today I think I'm going to try a 5 by 2 because this is a big jig. And this has a lot. It's either going to be the 5 or the 6. I haven't decided yet. I think this goes on pretty tight. Let's see if I can show you this. I think this goes on pretty tight. That'll hold it in place pretty well. So let's take that off of there, set it to the side real quick, and I'm just going to try a 6 to see how much bigger it actually is. Because the 6 might be the ticket with the skirt material on it. It's pretty loose, but I think with the skirt material on it, it'll hold it in place and it won't backtrack off the bait keeper. So I think we'll try to do it with the 6 first. That might be the ticket. I don't want to go too small because too small might be, too crazy. And again, these are some skirt material. It's a skirt tool that stretches out O-rings or the collars that they sell. And I believe I got this from Barlow's as well. So let's go ahead and get these organized the way we want them. I want the green in the middle somewhere, and then we'll do the pepper flake on the pepper flake side, and then we'll do the silver foil in the back. So to give it a nice little pizzazz here. So we're going to go ahead and spread that O-ring apart. And I love using O-rings. I do not like using collars. Collars are just terrible to use. So I try to get that O-ring in the middle. And then what we do is we take a pair of scissors, cut off the ends, And again, I'm not really too worried on, you know, making this skirt and it doesn't really work out. I mean, I think it's going to work out perfect. Chop off the ends here. And there's your skirt. And what I like to do again is move it down to one end slightly so that if you hold the skirt, the other ones, the ones that are on the top part, they hang down almost even with the shorter part of the skirt. So if you can do that and then get it on the jig, it looks really well. So we're gonna go ahead, put this in here. This is a giant hook. These are 9/0 hooks, and this is a ultra minnow jig. Typically you use this jig for tying material like bucktail jigs, that kind of thing. That's typically what you'd use this for. So what I'm thinking with these jigs, I'm just going to leave the skirts on there and this is actually for a buddy of mine. I thought this was kind of cool. So I'm going to actually make these jigs with the skirts. Check that out, guys. That's pretty cool. I'm going to make these jigs with the skirts, and I'm going to give them to him, and he can either use the skirt or just take the skirt off. It's up to him. It's his call. But I made them for these specifically. Then that way you can put a big plastic on the back of this thing and roll it around it. Then this is going to be used, I believe, for muskies. So, I mean, these things are huge. It's 1.5 ounce head. And like I said, the hook is 9/0. It's huge. So there's one jig done. The chartreuse. We're going to go ahead and now move on to the purple. And I kind of made this like it's hard to explain, I think it's a sprayed grass color on the actual top, which consists of a watermelon green with some green flake and purple flake. So it came out really cool. And then I put a purple stripe like down the belly of the minnow, so it's purple on the bottom, and some really cool eyes to it, kind of give it a little pizzazz. So very Joker looking type jig. So we're going to use some purples in this, and we're going to use one little green stripe, which I think is going to be really cool, and it's the only one that I have that's color wise. It's going to be really cool. I'll show you in a few minutes here though. So this one is a Lure Parts Online a skirt as well. It's just a Nature's Edge violet 533, and it's just a violet color with some like black flake in it kind of deal. Not flake, I shouldn't say, like black dots. It's a little bit different. So, and I'm just gonna keep showing you these and cut them open and take what I need and put the other parts back off to the side just so that I get them out of the way. I'm not gonna try to button these things up while we're trying to talk and get through the video. This is a new one I got from Lure Parts Online. This is called Violet Purple, and it is a color changing purple, and it's tough to see on you probably can't see it on the camera, but it's like a pink to purple kind of color shift, and it's got black in it as well, and it's got some flake in it too. It's got I think just purple flake, yeah, just purple flake in it. So we're going to use that to kind of give it a little bit of highlight. Then we've got these other ones. I've got this, I've got to be real careful cutting this bag open because they all settled to one end. This one is called Magic Purple, and it is a purple with black flake, and I think some purple flake in there too, I'm not sure. And it's got some blues out towards the end, which not too crazy about the blue, but it'll give it a cool little effect. And it's white in the middle, so it's a very unique skirt. It's like and it's got a color shift to it as well. So it's a very, very unique, I don't know, I keep bumping the camera, sorry. Very unique skirt, and it actually, the color shift is like a pink in the middle, like it was white to pink. And outside it's like purple, like dark purple, light purple. It's really kind of cool. So we're gonna try that in there. This may end up being really cool. This one is a Barlow's 781 Grape Hot Candy. And it has a whole bunch of flake in it, 781 number. It has red, green, blue, and purple, I think, in there. So we're gonna throw that in there for a little added effect. See what we get and mix it up real good. And the last thing I'm gonna add, and I think this is kind of cool, And of course the black bag just split open on me. These bags are so cheap. This is a Barlow's Lunker skirt. And what Lunker skirts are, and this is a 222 watermelon candy. So this is watermelon with green flake in it. And it's got green pumpkin too. But look how long this skirt color, or this skirt is. I actually got two of them. There was too many there. This, I mean, it is super long. Like I can't even hold it. It's like twice the length of a normal skirt. So it's going to hang out like a little tail. So we're going to put that in the middle. But it has the green and the purple in it with the green, like the watermelon green from the baits. This is going to match it perfectly. But we're going to put it right down through the center. So let's get these put together here. Like I said, we were going to be using a 6mm O-ring. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get out a couple O-rings so we've got the rest to do here. All right, so I'm going to get my skirts together here. This is going to be a little odd because this thing is so long. I'm trying to think of how I'm going to do this because it's got to go through, and I want it equal on both ends. So I'm trying to figure this out, how I would put this in the inside of this bait. So what I want to do is I want to take the color shifts and put them to one side. And then I think I'm going to put the Lunker in the middle. And then I'm going to put the dark purples in the back. Let's just see how this turns out. Like I said, if we don't like it, we can just change it or put it off to the side and I'll rethink about it and do a different one or something. I don't know. No big deal. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to get that Lunker through there first. Get him pulled through. I actually had to use my mouth on that just to pull that skirt through. Then I'm trying to get the rest of them through. And there's a lot of skirt material there. Pull it up through, get it in the center, and take it off. All right, so we got it in there. And I got the Lunker skirt, I think, where I need it. And I'm trying to adjust that so it's not pulling like one or the other. All right, so here's the trick with this one. You got to cut the Lunker tab off first. Then you got to very carefully take that Lunker off and hold it with your hand or throw it off to the side or whatever, and take your other ones, line them up so you can cut the tabs off of those guys. I think this is the only one that's going to have a Lunker on it, because the other skirts, I think it's the only Lunker. I think I had some other Lunker ones, but they're a different color, like an orange or something. I didn't really have anything that would go with this time around. So again, hold those off to the side. And then the Lunker's last by himself. Cut it. And if you got a straggler, like one of these is too long, just trim it up. So that's it. So it's purple, a lot of purples, and then that green pumpkin out the middle. Actually, I think that's going to look pretty darn cool. So again, we got to put it to one side. That's what I always do, put it to one side. Hang it. And I think that's going to look really cool. Let's get the jig on there. It's kind of neat because it's like got the whites a little bit longer or a little bit different, like in the one side. And I'm just trying to, some of these are a little short. I'm just kind of pulling them out a little bit, give it a little bit of extra dangle. That's going to be really cool. So it's got the purples and some pinks and stuff, and then it's got that Lunker trailer on the end. So that's going to be kind of what it looks like. See if you guys can see that. It's kind of hanging down under the table a little bit. Let's see if I can clean that up so you guys can see it a little bit better. Look at that thing. It's going to have that little trailer out the middle, a bunch of little doodads. That's really cool. So that came out pretty neat. So I do actually like the color. I think I'm going to end up keeping that as is. It's going to be interesting putting it in a bag. But anyway, so there's that. Next one is a green, and it's like an army green, and it's got some gold flake in it. I can't remember the name of that color. Copper green, something like that. And then it's got a green. I sprinkled a little bit of gold paint on the belly, so it's a green bellied type bait. And then I picked some nice gold eyes to go on it. And all these are sealed, by the way. I sealed these jigs with, 2 of them I did. This one I believe I did with UV, Illuma UV, and used them UV light to cure them. And you can tell that the UV time took a little while to cure it, but man, it is like such a nice coating on these jigs. And I did it with the chartreuse as well, but these came out great. The other 3 I did with, like this one, the purple one, I did with the epoxy coat. Oh, I can't remember what it's called. It'll come to me at some point, but I did the other 3 with those, dipped them in there and let them hang dry. And it looks good too, but I think it's a lot thinner than the UV. Anyway, so for the green guy, I picked a whole bunch of like green and gold colors to go together. So this one is a watermelon brown multi-glitter. So it's got a whole bunch of different glitters in it, but it's mostly green and gold. And that's a 221. That's a Barlow's as well. And I use all sorts of different skirt material from different companies, but a lot of my stuff comes from Barlow's. This is a Barlow's pumpkin green glitter, 467. Thought that would be really cool for this one too. It's got a lot of greens in it. Thought that would work pretty well. I think most of the skirt colors I picked were pretty good relative-wise to the baits. And here's one I haven't opened yet. This one has some purple in it, so I'm a little nervous about using it, but I think because of the gold, it'll come out really well. Yeah, it's gold with like some black dots and some purple flake. But I think that might be a pretty good little highlight color for that jig. Oh, here's one I haven't even opened yet. This one is a pump, which is pumpkin probably, pepper green glitter. And this is a pretty sweet looking color if I can get one out of here, not 20. It's just a lot of green glitter and a very light color. So we'll see. I'm sure that one will mix in really well. Okay, so there's our 4 strips. Unfortunately, I don't have any Lunker to put in that one. But I'm going to do this one with the black in the middle and the other ones on the outside. See if that kind of makes a little sense. But it's this one should go quick. Let's see. Looks good there, size-wise. Put it on the jig. Not bad. Came up pretty good. It looks like the black kind of went to one area, but that's okay. That's kind of what I want, what I expected and what I wanted. So a little bit different, kind of a brownish gold with green glitter. That's going to be pretty cool too. So there's number 3. And again, we're going to do 5 of these. The next one is going to be pretty cool, but I think we got to make some color selection on this next one, because this next one is black with red glitter and a red eye. And I need to figure out what I'm going to do for colors. So let's go ahead, and we're definitely going to use one of these blacks in this bag. And again, this is one of the ones that I just had some randoms, but this is a black with red scale pattern glitter. So we're going to use that, definitely. And I don't know where that came from. No idea. I just had a mixed bag of something. The next one is from Jan's Net Craft. And like I said, I've got skirt material from all over the place. This is metallic foil, and it's metallic red on a black background. So there's 2 dark colored skirts. I'm definitely using those 2. The other one that I have that I definitely want to use, and I may just go ahead and put 5 in this one just because I've got that many here, and this one's just a red with black in it. And what I want to do here is give it a little flash. So I got this other one. Oh, it didn't even have a label on it. This is from Lure Parts Online. It is like some silver with white and clear, and it's got red all over it, like metallic red. So that's pretty cool. Then this other one I've got from Lure Parts Online, this one actually says what it is. It's a neon red, they call it. And it's white with red and black splotches all over the place. So let's go ahead and open these up. Get one tab of each one of these out as well. So we're going to try 5 on this one, see how it goes. So we have 5 tabs we're going to do on this one. This is going to be a lot on this one. So let's go ahead and get our O-ring on the tool. Let's go ahead and arrange these the way we want them. I think I want the blacks together, the red on one side, and then the whites on the other side. We'll do the black towards the one with the black splotches in it towards the middle, and the white, or the white or clear with the silver and the red metallic we'll put on the front. So got them together. Open the O-ring, put them through. So we should be able to do 5 pretty easy with how big this O-ring is. It's going to be a little tighter on the jig, would be my guess. There goes that. There goes that one. And just see if it dangles right. Maybe a little bit more down. And it's got the dangle. Perfect. All right, so let's go ahead and put this on the jig. Okay, got the black jig. Got to put it through. Looks like the white stayed on one side, which is kind of what I wanted to happen. And the red did too. That actually looks really cool. Let me show you what we got here. The red one didn't really cooperate very well. It's almost like red on one side, but it's like wants to be stuck together. It's being a little turd. Anyway, so here's a little preview of that. Let me see if I can get it on one side here. A little preview of that one. And I'll have some video in the end. Let me hold it up right there. We go, so you can kind of see the white on it too. That's awesome. It's such a giant hook, but that's going to be such a cool jig. So there's that one. And then we got one more left, and that'll wrap it up for this one. And this one is, I believe it's like a blue craw or magic craw, they call it. It's a blue highlight with like green pumpkin kind of thing. And what I ended up doing on this one, which is really cool, is I put some red bug on the belly of this jig, and then I put some clear with black flake across the body on both sides. So gave it a little bit of extra to look at. Put the eyes on it, and this one's also dipped in seal coat. That's what the name of that product was I was trying to think of earlier. It's OS Coating Seal Coat. So we're gonna go ahead and do this one. This one I picked out, I believe 4 jig skirts. This one, the first one, is called Dark Watermelon Red. It is a color shift green blue, just like the blue craw, or the magic craw they call it. That same kind of color shift with red in it. So it's perfect for this, absolutely perfect. And then I also got some 522. I don't know where this came from. If I had to guess, it's probably Lure Parts Online. It's just the blue magic craw without any flake in it. So it's a good filler. So it's got the color shift on it, the green with the blue highlight with nothing in it. So pretty plain. And then I'm going to do the 523, which is the same thing as the 522, except this one has, this one just has the black flake in it. So it's the same color shift properties, green to blue, and it's got the black flake in it. Now the only other thing we got left is a bag of mixed crap that I have left over from assortments and whatnot. And there's one in here in particular that I really want to use. And it's got that same green to blue color shift, but it's got the bars in it. The barbed wire type black lines across it. So we're going to use that as well. So a whole bunch of that same mix. So I'm going to go ahead and put the dots ones in the middle, the plain one on the outside, and the bars on the back side. And we're going to go ahead and put our O-ring on the tool, put the 4 in there, take it off the tool, put it in the middle. We got that right there. Sorry for the camera, guys. I keep bumping it because it's like sticking out on me. So we got them all together. Cut the tab ends off. Hopefully I'm not boring you to death here, guys. I really do enjoy this. This is a lot of fun doing this part. Just the creativity of coming up with skirts. See if that dangles with it. It dangles with it really well. Moved it down. Put the hook down through. Push it up on there. And you are good to go. Looks like a ton of that color shift. Super, super cool. Great color. All blends together well. Goes really well together. It's got a little red flake in it. Kind of a natural looking color. So that's it. Let me give you one more shot of all these kind of together. And you can kind of check them out for yourself. Let me show you these. Kind of got them all laid out right now, don't I? 1, 2. Trying to get the skirt material to lay down the right way. 3. There's 4. And that chartreuse is kind of buried underneath a pile of skirt material. And there's 5. So let me pick this up, I'll show them to you guys. There you go. Pretty cool. Well, that's gonna wrap it up for today's video, guys. I hope you really enjoyed that. Made a whole bunch of really big musky jigs with some really cool colored skirts. And again, they're going to a friend of mine. I'm hoping he's gonna kind of do some field testing for me too, because I did 2 coatings of OS coating seal coat, or 3 coatings of OS coating seal coat, and then I did 2 of Illuma UV, and I'm kind of curious which one's gonna last. I'm thinking the Illuma UV is a lot thicker than the seal coat, but as far as like, you know, feeling the texture of the bait, the actual jig head itself, the seal coat puts a thinner coat on there, so it kind of feels a little bit better and gives it more of a better looking, you know, natural looking type bait. So Illuma UV is a great product. It is a lot thicker. It's very thick. So hopefully they all work out great. But anyway, so thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And until the next time, remember, keep on baiting.